Hi dear students, good morning and welcome back to my today's video class. Students, today I am going to take the first chapter of your class 10th English textbook, Footprints Without Feet, and the first chapter is A Triumph of Surgery. If you see the title, what does it mean? A triumph. Triumph means victory. A triumph of surgery means surgery ki jeet, okay? Which has been written by James Herriot. Who is James Herriot? Where from he belongs to? He was the British veterinary surgeon as well as writer. Okay, let's see the introduction part of this chapter. This story is about Tricky. Who is Tricky? Tricky is a dog who is the pet of a rich lady named Mrs. Pumphrey. She loves her dog very much and unable to refuse him anything he wants. She loves her that much that whatever the dog demands, she offers him to eat. One day, when Mrs. Pumphrey is out for a walk with her dog, the narrator sees them and stops to talk. While talking to Mrs. Pumphrey, the narrator realizes that she has been overfeeding Tricky. Okay, when the narrator saw the dog, he found that it has been fed a lot by Mrs. Pumphrey. And just because of that, the dog was looking like a bloated sausage. Okay, what is bloated sausage? It was just looking like in its excessive size. Okay, and soon Tricky got unwell and Mrs. Pumphrey has to call Mr. Herriot for help. Okay, who is Mr. Herriot? Mr. Herriot was the narrator. Mr. Herriot suggested her to get the dog hospitalized for 15 days as he knew that how that dog will be cured, and that's why he suggested her to get him hospitalized for 15 days. But Mrs. Pumphrey doesn't want to send him away. She loves him this much that she cannot live even a single day without him. Okay, now let's see in this story how the dog gets well. But before that, let's see some of the selected keywords of this chapter. The first word is bloated, which means excessive in size or amount. Sausage. Sausage means an item of food which is in the form of a cylindrical length. Lolled. Lolled means sit, lie or stand in a lazy way or in a relaxed way, that is called lolled. Rheumy. Rheumy means watery. Listless, which means lacking energy or enthusiasm. Painting. Painting means breathing with short or quick breaths. Okay, jaldi jaldi se श्वास लेना, हाफ ना जिसको आप बोलते हैं. Distraught means very worried and upset. That is what? Distraught. Regime. Regime means a system or ordered way of doing something. That is what regime is. Then totter, which means to walk or move in a feeble or unsteady way. Okay, so these all have been some of the words of this chapter. Now let's move on to the summary of this chapter. The story starts when Mrs. Pumphrey, a rich lady, takes her dog out for a walk. Okay, a nearby veterinary doctor who knows the lady sees the dog and is shocked to see it. Why? Because the dog had put on a lot of weight and hence became lethargic. What do you mean by lethargic? Inactive, okay, or you can say lazy. He advises her to stop giving him unhealthy things to eat, but as she loved him so much that she always overfed him, she used to give him anything like cream, chocolate, and just because of that, the dog had been so much plumpy, and just because of all this, he falls sick and the doctor is called. The narrator, Mr. Herriot, made a plan and told Mrs. Pumphrey that Tricky needed treatment. Okay, the dog needed treatment and take the dog to the hospital. He knew that the lady, that rich lady, Mrs. Pumphrey, is not gonna to leave her dog so easy, but anyhow he managed to take the dog to the hospital. After that, the dog was kept hungry. Here, the doctor has started his treatment in his own way in his hospital. He was given food at fixed intervals. Soon, he shed off a lot of his body weight and his condition started improving very fast. Okay, what we have observed in this chapter, we have observed that in his treatment, the doctor, Mr. Herriot, has not given any medicine to the dog but plenty of water. Okay, so in this way, Mr. Herriot started the dog's treatment. When this news reached Mrs. Pumphrey, she started sending the doctors things like eggs, bottles of wine, bottles of brandy, as she thought that Tricky was recovering from illness and needed some energy food. Here all the things sent by her were consumed by the doctor, Mr. Herriot, and his partners. After Tricky got well, Mrs. Pumphrey was called, and when she came and saw her active dog, she thanked the doctor and felt that it was a triumph of surgery. Okay, you know what kind of the surgery it was? She thought that it was a triumph of surgery, ये surgery की जीत थी, as his surgery had been successful. Okay, so you know it much better like what kind of the surgery it was. So students, what do we learn from this chapter? Here the writer is talking about the adverse effects of overfeeding and overpampering. Through this chapter, the writer wants to convey us that one must not be that much indulgent in taking care of something or in pampering something that it may bring the health sickness. I hope you would have understood this chapter. Just go through this, read it out once more and get it well. So that's it for now. Thank you so much. Take care and goodbye.